When discussing the qualifications of a messianic figure, or really what a Messiah has to accomplish, and of course this is a very, very sensitive issue between Jews and Christians, is we actually have a job description, and it's seen in its most condensed form in Maimonides from 1,000 years ago, where he basically says that the Mashiach has to be versed in Torah tradition, the written and the oral tradition. He will fight the final wars. He will gather the Jews from the four corners of the earth. Jerusalem will be rebuilt. He will rebuild the temple. And if someone accomplishes all of those things, then we can be sure that he's Mashiach. Therefore, throughout history, many, many people have claimed to be the Messiah. And in fact, almost every few hundred years, there is what we call a false Messiah. But you just have to look at, did they accomplish what the job description is? So when people ask us why we haven't accepted other messianic figures, our answer is very simple. They didn't fulfill the job description. And therefore we keep on waiting. As we mentioned in the beginning about the signs, this is one of the reasons, if you noticed, that the job description, many of these things are already happening. That's why there is this feeling, when we talked about the Messiah will gather the Jews from the four corners of the earth. Well, it's already happening. So the Messiah will finish the project. We're not there yet, but we're certainly on the way. Jerusalem is rebuilt, but we don't have a temple yet. Unfortunately, there seems to be wars every few years. Our tradition is that there'll be a final war, after which there'll be no more wars. So we're waiting for that time.
Maimonides, the greatest Jewish philosopher and master of Jewish philosophy and Jewish law, Kabbalah, was a doctor, a healer. So Maimonides summarizes his great halachic work, which is a Jewish law, writings of the Jewish law, called Mishneh Torah, Yad HaChazakah, by saying what the world will be like at this time. And he says that really those days when Mashiach will be revealed and there will be the building of the third temple, the eternal temple in the holy city of Jerusalem, the one which will stay forever, it said that people, all they'll be doing will be knowing the majesty of God, of godliness, understanding it, studying it, enjoying it. That's the most joyful thing to experience, to do, to wish for, to long for, even nowadays. But then it will be more like, when you desire for something, it's like love, when you love someone, but yet that person, let's say, far from you, so you desire to get close to him. It's like fiery love, like fire, flames of fire. You feel in your heart, you want to get close to that person you love so much and just be with him. But once you're close to that person, once that time has come, like the redemption, and you feel the closeness of God very close to you. So in Kabbalah we learn it's like love which is compared to water, not like fire to water, something that gives you joy. And when you examine our behavior, as human beings naturally, from the behavioral perspective, we always look for things to give us joy. We desire them, we think of them, we feel for them, we want to do them, we want to feel them and everything. So that's the most joyful thing for a human being, really, is really to feel the closeness of God. Study it, understand it, be with it.
According to all of the prophets, the stage for this whole drama to unfold is in Israel. And the fact that 60 years ago approximately, the state of Israel was reborn after nearly 2,000 years of the Jewish people in exile is one of the biggest signs of the coming closer of the Messianic era. Some of the other signs that they gave is when the land would turn green again. Anyone who's been to Israel knows that 100 years ago this was pretty much a desert area. And Israel is a great exporter of fruits and vegetables now. So the land has turned green. We're told that Jerusalem will be rebuilt. We see it in our day. And that the exiles will be brought home, the ingathering of the exiles. Anyone has to walk down the street in Israel and you see every shade of color, every type of dress. Jews are being gathered from the four corners of the world. So these are the signs that we were given. And because of what I said, most people consider that we are in what's called the footsteps of the Mashiach, in the era leading up to the final redemption, which could be tomorrow or next year or 100 years from now. No one knows, which makes this period of time we live in quite exciting, and also one very fraught with danger, because we're told that the time leading up to Mashiach could be very traumatic. It doesn't have to be, but it could be a very traumatic period. And if we look at the last 100 years in human history, it has definitely been a traumatic time. And because of technology, life on this planet is changing so rapidly that also this is part of the props of the stage, as you were, that indicate that we're getting close to the Messianic era.
How will we know when Mashiach is here? What will tell us? So there's a fourth character that's very involved in the Messianic process. His name is Elijah. In Hebrew, it's Eliyahu HaNavi, Elijah the prophet. And in a sense, he's the front runner. He's the one who's the herald of Moses, David, and Joseph. He runs in front of the chariot, and he makes it known that something is happening. And we have such a thing called the shofar of Eliyahu HaNavi, the great horn that will blow. At the beginning, it will be beneath the threshold of our physical ears. We won't be able to hear it, but some will begin to hear it in their souls. It's a deep, wondrous sound. The shofar itself is a symbol of that. Tekah b'shofar gadol l'chirotenu, we say in our prayers. Oh, blow the great shofar, the ram's horn. But it's not a ram's horn we're talking about here. We're talking about a deep sound that will rise up in consciousness and eventually break through into the physical world. And the world will begin to shake, and the world will begin to tremble. And the physical world as we know it will begin to change. It'll be very frightening for many people. But if we're prepared for it, if we know that something is happening, something that was promised many years ago, thousands of years ago, that the physical reality that we live in is only a casing, an encasement around an essence. The molecular structure of reality will begin to vibrate at a higher vibration. Something will happen. It'll be the most rejoicing moment in the world, and yet it'll be frightening for many people. The difference is, as the Talmud says, that it'll be like a light that'll be shining. It'll be so powerful that it'll be painful for some, but it'll be the most wondrous and joyous light for others. What will distinguish between the two groups? The distinguishing factor is, what direction were you going? Were you moving in the direction of God, or were you trying to fight the light of Hashem?